Hello and welcome to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and welcome to the WOCO 1071 pregame show. The Bullfrogs have traveled out to Rockford for the weekend to face off against the Rivets on Saturday and on Sunday. Bullfrogs coming hot off of a win in Wausau, where they managed to beat the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-2. Brett Falk would be named the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game, and boy, was it worth it. Brett Falk comes in the fifth inning, relieving Mason Swellenbach, who had put the Bullfrogs in a bind. At the time, the Bullfrogs were ahead 3-0, but with the bases loaded, Mason Swellenbach would walk a batter and put the score to 3-1. Brett Falk gets the nod to come out of the bullpen as Mason Swellenbach had hit his pitch limit reached, and so Brett Falk comes in to close things out, deals in a strikeout, left 3 runners on base, and then would go on to not allow a run until the 9th inning, where with 2 outs on a board, the Wisconsin Woodchucks would play to run, but the last batter that Brett Falk faces, he forces a pop-up, and the Bullfrogs come away with a 4-2 victory. That makes it 6 out of the last 7 that the Bullfrogs have won, and despite sitting at 9th place in the South Divisions, they come into the game as one of the hotter teams in the league. The Rockford Rivets coming off of a big victory over the Wisconsin, or rather, my apologies, off against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, as last night they would score 13 runs in a win over Fond du Lac. The Dock Spiders sit at 31-32 overall and are kind of close to clinching, or I should say, are in the hunt for a playoff spot after a shaky first half. The Rockford Rivets sit at 36-26 on the season, and here in the second half of the year, they sit at 19-9. The Bullfrogs on the second half just 9-17. They have struggled, but as mentioned, 6 of their last 7, and starting out on the mound tonight for the Bullfrogs will be Connor Wallersheim, their ace. Wallersheim on this season a 4-2 record and has the best strikeout to walk ratio on the team, and man, is it a marvelous stat. 53 strikeouts to just 21 walks, a 4-2 record, and a 2.23 ERA. The guy has been phenomenal this season. The Kent State left-handed hurler works quick, and it's fun to watch. Should be a good game tonight as the Bullfrogs come into the game red hot, and at this point in the season, nothing to lose. They've already been knocked out of the playoffs, so at this point in the year, all they can do is just try to wreak havoc on the South Division. And, well, ever since they found out they weren't going to make the playoffs, really, that's what's happened. They would win 3 of 4 against Kenosha and then win 3 of 4 against the Wisconsin Woodchucks, and they're looking to make it 2 straight here tonight. Lineups for both teams. Let's start with the Rockford Rivets. Bryn Martinez, the second baseman, will lead things off tonight for the Rivets, followed by Hunter Fiducia, the catcher. He's batting second. Neil Tyrell, the designated hitter, will find himself batting in the 3-hole. Zach Reams, the cleanup hitter tonight, out in left field. Keen O'Brien, he's batting 5th out in right. Anthony Forte, the center fielder tonight for the Rivets. Patrick Loeffler, the first baseman, will be batting 7th. Zach Bailey, third baseman tonight, batting 8th, and Trevor Paradosky in the 9-hole, the shortstop, is batting 9th. Starting pitcher tonight for the Rockford Rivets will be Brad Littleton. Brad Littleton, one of the few pitchers remaining in this bullpen for the Rockford Rivets that was here to start the season, has appeared in the most innings than any other Rockford Rivet on the roster, and currently coming into the game with a 6.02 ERA. Not mind-boggling stats by any means when you look at his ERA, but ever since he was moved from a reliever to a starter, he's looked much better. Has a 19 strikeout to 18 walk ratio and a 2-1 record. And your lineup for your Green Bay Bullfrogs. Mikey Falia, center fielder out of UC Irvine, will lead things off tonight. Riley Smith out of Minnesota. He'll be batting second and playing shortstop. Playing right field, Troy Johnston, the Gonzaga product. Troy Johnston, of course, coming off of a great game where last night he would go 3 for 4. Dan Lecky's the third baseman tonight and the cleanup hitter, the Lafayette College product. Kyle Binio, the designated hitter, finds himself back in the lineup, of course, has not played in 6 or 7 games. The Youngstown State product had a nagging rib injury, but he seems to be all right now. Batting sixth will be Willie Bourbon, first baseman out of Northwestern. And the seventh hole, Ben Hart, the second baseman out of Oakland University. Ben Challey still in lineup, but left fielder tonight instead of third base. He's out of UW Milwaukee. Zach Plunkett, the catcher out of Arkansas, will find himself in the 9 hole tonight. And as mentioned, Connor Wallersheim out on the mound for the the Green Bay Bullfrogs tonight. The Kent State product on the year has the second best ERA in the entire Northwoods League. If you put on that innings pitched limits, there's only so many pitchers that have been around long enough to find themselves on the Northwoods League official pitching stats. National anthem about to be played here at Rivet Stadium. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, it'll be Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. You're listening to 107.1 FM on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a Brewpub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every Brewpub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brewpub Pizzas out at facebook.com/BrewpubPizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site, whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines. They'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at Oconto Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The Oconto Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Nolan Knight here, voice of the Bullfrogs. You're listening to the 107.1 FM, 1260 AM WOCO Sports pregame show. The Bullfrogs have traveled out to Rockford, Illinois for the weekend. They will be here on Saturday and on Sunday, facing off against the South Division leaders, the Rockford Rivets. The Rivets have absolutely exploded here in the second half of the year, 19-9, and overall on the season, they are 10 games above 500. Rockford Rivets coming off of a huge win against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, 5-13. But the game before that, the Dock Spiders put it on the Rivets, 17-2. That Dock Spiders team playing well of late and at the exact perfect time. Dock Spiders find themselves in that race for the playoffs, whereas the Bullfrogs, well, I'm sure as you can imagine, are no longer in the playoff race. They have been eliminated. With that said, the Green Bay Bullfrogs have played well here of late. They have won 6 of their last 7 and are one of the hotter teams in the Northwoods League. Really, the only other team as hot as the Bullfrogs would be the Rockford Rivets. The Rivets have find themselves winning 5 of their last 7, and the Rivets, of course, coming off that big win against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, are looking to try to clinch that playoff spot and trying to clinch themselves some home field advantage as well in the first game. Take a deeper look into that playoff race, and it's really between about 5 teams now. There's going to be one team that really just gets the short end of the sticks, as the Rockford Rivets will likely make their way in. The Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, well, they've kind of locked it all up. The Battle Creek Bombers currently, with the way that they're playing, will likely find themselves making it as well. The Bombers currently sitting at 2nd overall at 37-25. It's that 4th spot that has a tight race. Currently, the Lakeshore Chinooks are holding on to it at 34-29, but the Kenosha Kingfish right behind and the Madison Mallards are as well. The Kingfish sit at 33-30, 12 games back. So they're one game behind the Lakeshore Chinooks, which are clinching onto that last spot win. The Madison Mallards a game and a half behind that last opening spot. And really, it is just a dogfight to try to get into the playoff here in the South Division. The Bullfrogs, they have nothing to lose, and, well, they're playing like it as well. And for 1-6 of their last 7, Mikey Folia, the right-handed hitter out of UC Irvine, digs in. First pitch to him. Fastball that runs high, and it's a 1-0 count. Mikey Folia on the season for the Bullfrogs has been a player to watch. Leads the team in batting average. Currently batting .301 on the season. The 1-0. Fastball right over Broadway. A ball and a strike now. Mikey Folia, the center fielder tonight. Yesterday, I should say, I was able to meet up with Mikey Folia and talk about what it was meant for him, for his family to come out to Kenosha to watch him play. 1-1. That one swung on and fouled away left side. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, the family all the way out from Irvine, California, came out to Kenosha to watch Mikey play. His older brother, Eric Folia, who plays for the Modesto Nuts currently, played for the Kenosha Kingfish. So a nice connection to the Big Top Baseball franchise and, of course, the Folia family. 2-1. That one runs high, and it evens the count up. Or rather, the 1-2 runs high, evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Folia waits, and the 2-2 from Littleton. That's another fastball that runs at the eyes of Mikey Folia, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brad Littleton out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets tonight. The Coal City, Illinois native, not too far here in Rockford, Illinois. The freshman out of Indiana kicks his leg in the payoff pitch. Swung on, a nice frozen rope into right center field. That's going to drop fair. A base hit for Folia. A long turnaround first, but he's going to stay there. A single leads off the game for the Bullfrogs, and Mikey Folia does it again. Has moved into that leadoff spot after batting around the 3 or 5 hole for some time for the Bullfrogs. But with a couple of different injuries, Mikey Folia got pushed up the lineup, and he's really made the most of it. As mentioned, has the best batting average on the team. And proving it there. A nice well-hit ball into right center field. Finds the gap between Kean O'Brien in right and Anthony Fortes in center. And it's a base hit. Runner at first, and Riley Smith, the shortstop, digs in. First one to Smith from Littleton. The delivery. That's a fastball and finds the upper outside third. 0-1. Riley Smith on the season for the Bullfrogs, coming into the game batting .287 with 15 RBIs on the year. Was on an 8-game hit streak coming into the series against the Woodchucks. The 0-1. That one runs high, and the count moves to a ball and 1 strike. However, ever since being named to the Major League Dream Showcase, Riley Smith has not registered a hit. Went 0-9 against the Wisconsin Woodchucks in the last series. We'll see if he can change it here. The righty out of Minnesota digs in. Brad Littleton out on the bump. Kicks the leg, the 1-1. Swung on, a well-hit ball into left field. Zach Reams tracking back at the warning track. Makes the grab on the run for out number 1. Nice compact swing there from Riley Smith. And makes a nice connection. Drives it with his legs deep into left center. But Zach Reams, the speedster out there in left field, running over to his right, making the over-the-shoulder grab, 1 away. That brings up Troy Johnston, the right fielder. Troy Johnston, left-handed hitter out of Gonzaga, stands in. Littleton deals. It's swung on, a chopper to the first baseman. He's got it. Throw to second in time. Throw to first, not in there. Smart play there by the first baseman, Patrick Leffler. A bouncing chopper towards him. Runs into the infield grass, grabs it, extending high up in the air as it nearly bounced over his head. A throw to the shortstop, Trevor Paradosky, who comes over to cover, is in time, getting Mikey Folia out. And the throw to first not in time. Johnston, quick player for the Bullfrogs, able to beat that one out, but it will be a fielder's choice. 2 away. Dan Leckie, cleanup hitter, digs in. The third baseman on the season for the Bullfrogs, batting around .250. First one to him. That one swung on and fouled back into the backstop netting, 0-1. We're here at Rivet Stadium in Rockford, Illinois. Used to be home to the Rockford Aviators, a minor league ball club, but that team has since left, and the Rockford Rivets calling Rivet Stadium their home for the second season. The 0-1. That one runs high, 1-1. One of the newer teams in the Northwoods League, of course, last year, the Bismarck Larks and Fond du Lac Duck Spiders were added, making this year be their first season, but the Rockford Rivets added 2 years ago. The 1-1. That one swung on, a line drive into right field. That might drop fair. That one going back, lands in foul territory. It's into the corner, and it's over the wall. Tough break for the Bullfrogs. That was likely going to score Troy Johnston, and likely might have been a triple for Dan Leckie. Instead, it's a ground rule double, and runners at second and third. The Bullfrogs have been on the wrong side of that ground rule double a few times this season. And with 2 outs on the board, Kyle Binio digs in. A tough break for the Bullfrogs. Troy Johnston was just about rounding third when the ball bounces over the wall out there in right field. In the right field corner, there's a beer garden, and it bounces off of the warning track and into that beer garden where a few families are enjoying their Saturday afternoon. And it puts runners at second and third. First one to Binio. Fastball that hits the upper outside portion, 0-1. Kyle Binio, of course, sat out some games for the Bullfrogs due to a nagging injury. This is his first game since July 26th. So it's been 10 days since Kyle Binio last played. Right-handed batter stands in, and Brad Littleton kicks the leg, the 0-1. And that one swung on and fouled away right side, 0-2. He's been healthy for about 2 games now or so, but they left him out on the lineup card just to make sure. Of course, with just 10 games or so left in the season, no reason to force yourself back into play. Bullfrogs could use another player, and of course, if you've been following along with the Frogs, they've been using pitchers as designated hitters from time to time. So Binio digs in, he awaits. Brad Littleton out on the mound, comes set, and the 0-1. That one swung on, slow grounder left side, could be an infield single, and it is. Kyle Binio just managing to get that one out. A slow bouncer towards the third baseman, Zach Bailey, running into the infield grass, tries to glove it so that he can force a tough play, but when he just kind of overruns the ball, it gets past him, and it's an infield single for Kyle Binio, and it's an RBI as Troy Johnston comes across to scores. Bullfrogs take a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. Dan Leckie moves over to third, so runners on the corners. First one to Willie Bourbon, swung on, a blooper into right side of the field over there, where the second baseman, Bryn Martinez, backtracks, raises his glove, and makes the grab. Just a slow blooper there, and it is out number 3. Bullfrogs leave 2 runners stranded. That does it for the top of the first inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Did you hear? We've branched into your living room. This is Beth Larson from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Our e-branch at snbt.com lets you manage your money 24/7 from the comfort of your home. Apply for loans, check your balances, and even open accounts. Don't waste another minute. Visit snbt.com now to take advantage of all the convenience of our e-branch offers from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Bottom of the first inning about to get underway. Starting pitcher out on the mound for the Bullfrogs here in the bottom of the first will be Connor Wallersheim. Left-handed pitcher out of Kent State on the season, has been a spectacle to watch. Not just because he's played so well, but because, well, he's fun to watch. The left-handed hurler, he's a guy that wastes no time on the mound. The second a batter lowers his arm, it is coming at you. He's a fun guy to watch, and his stats are fun to watch too. A 2.23 ERA sits as the best ERA on the team of any pitcher. Make that a starter, make that a closer, doesn't matter. He has the best ERA on the team. In all of the Northwoods League and starting pitchers that have had more than 8 starts, Connor Wallersheim with the second best ERA. This is his 10th start on the season, and in 52 innings pitched has dealt in 53 strikeouts. First pitch that he deals here in the bottom of the first, a fastball low, 1-0. Leadoff batter tonight for the Rockford Rivets will be Bryn Martinez, the second baseman, 1-0. Fastball and hits the upper outside portion, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bryn Martinez, right-handed batter, of course, you might have a familiar sound to it. Of course, played for the Kalamazoo Growlers at the beginning of the season. 1-1. That one goes by for a strike. 1-2 count now. Wallersheim, as always, not wasting any time. The 1-2 swing and a miss, or my apologies, just gets a piece of it. Foul tips it back into the chest plate of Zach Plunkett. And Plunkett can't put the mid on it, so count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Martinez digs back in, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss, or rather no, just gets a piece of that one as well. Martinez getting absolutely fooled by these curveballs, but he's just getting the bat on it to stick alive. Fouls that one down into the dirt. The 1-2. Fastball and runs high, 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Bryn Martinez earlier this season, of course, with the Kalamazoo Growlers out of Quincy University. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Wallersheim starts things off on the right foot, deals in a swinging strikeout to start things out. That brings up Hunter Fiducia, the catcher. Hunter Fiducia, I think, rather, my apologies, and a Louisiana State Units that just finished up his sophomore season where he would bat .394 in 52 games. 47 RBIs this past season. Was something to watch. First one to him, though, is a fastball that runs high about eye level, 1-0. Wallersheim, a strikeout to walk ratio, another number that sticks out to you. 1-0, swung on, a line drive to center. Foley is there, raises his glove, and records out number 2. Well hit ball by Fiducia, but it's straight at Mikey Foley. Hardly has to move, just takes a couple of steps to his right when he raises his glove. And there's 1 away, or rather 2 away, as Bryn Martinez struck out to lead off this bottom of the first. That brings up Neil Tyrell. Neil Tyrell, the designated hitter tonight on the season for the Rockford Rivets, coming into the game, has played all right out of Lewis, where this past season he would bat .290, 51 hits and 22 RBIs. The 0-1. That's one that hits the outside corner as well, and Wallersheim working fast as always, gets ahead 0-2. The 0-2. That one runs high as well, a ball and 2 strikes now. A 1-2 delivery. That's a breaking ball, and it breaks all the way down into the dirt, skips across home plate and hits Plunkett in the chest. He deals it back, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Wallersheim deals. Another breaking ball, and it runs all the way down into the dirt, and the last 2 got away from Wallersheim, and now the count sits full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board, nobody on. Bottom of the first frame, Bullfrogs have a 1-0 lead. Wallersheim kicks the leg, the payoff pitch. Fastball that runs inside for ball 4, and Neil Tyrell works himself a walk. Goes behind the count 0-2 there. And then 4 straight balls after that. I don't think Tyrell even swung his bat there. 2 called strikes and then 4 called balls. So that brings up Zach Reams, the left fielder. Reams so far this season for the Rockford Rivets, coming into the game, has struggled at the plate, batting just .227. In 47 games, he has 40 are singles. First one to him. Fastball, and hits the outside corner, 0-1. My apologies, has 40 hits, 5 doubles on the year, 3 home runs, and 25 RBIs. Left-handed batter stands in and awaits. Wallersheim comes set. Checks the runner at first in the 0-1. Change up there and then runs wide and moves the ball to a ball and a strike. Zach Reams out of Texas Tech just finished up his junior year, where in 16 starts would bat just 133. Wally comes sent, kicks the leg, the 1-1. That one swung on, slow grounder to second. Ben Hart has it. The throw to first is off the bag, and the runner gets on base. Wallersheim picks it up, but the runner at first gets to second, realizes that the throw's off target, runs over to third, sliding in safely, and that will be an E4, and there's 2 runners on. Zach Ream gets on first due to an E4, and Neil Tyrell scampers over to third, and Kean O'Brien digs in. Ben Hart has had his struggles at the second base bag this season, leads the league in errors, but he had been good recently. A lapse of concentration there, and a throw is just way off target and off the bag. First one into the new batter, Kean O'Brien, is a breaking ball and runs inside. Nice curve there from Wallersheim. 1-0. So 2 outs on the board, runners on the corners. Kean O'Brien, the Madison College product, stands in, batting 200 on the year. The 1-0. Fastball and runs wide as well. 2 balls and no strikes now. Wallersheim comes set. And the 2-0. Fastball and runs high. 3 balls and no strikes now. Kean O'Brien out of Madison, Wisconsin as well. So plays his college ball there, plays his high school ball there, and almost surprised he didn't play for his college ball there. Of course, the Madison Mallards of the Northwoods League as well, as the 3-0 count comes in high and wide and it loads the bases, bringing up Anthony Forte. Wallersheim has gotten the Bullfrogs out of some binds as well, but not often does Connor Wallersheim get in binds early. Of course, it should be out number 3 on the board, but an error on the second baseman, Ben Hart, keeps the Rockford Rivets alive. Bases loaded now. Anthony Forte digs in. First one to him, runs high, snap throw to third, nearly got him. Dan Leckie over there, he tags the runner, but the runner over there, and Neil Tyrell slides back in safely underneath of the tag. So a 1-0 count now to Anthony Forte. The 1-0, that one's in there for a strike. Moves the count to 1-1. Of course, Zach Plunkett, that snap throw to third's been good at that this season. 1-1. Breaking ball and runs wide, moves the count to 2 balls and a strike now. Has caught many of runners over there at third just looking silly. Guys get lazy, they walk back to the bag, and Plunkett will make it pay for it. Nearly got him there. 2-1. Swung on, pop up. First baseman Bourbon underneath of it. And Connor Wallersheim gets out of the bind. Leaves 3 runners stranded here in the first inning. On to the second we go. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Hi folks, this is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and you are listening to WOCO Sports Stream on 107.1 FM. The Bullfrogs have a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Kyle Bino, who's back in the lineup after a 10-game hiatus, manages an RBI infield single, scoring Troy Johnston in the first inning. Dan Leckie would be left stranded at third, and Bino would be left at first as Willie Bourbon would line out to second to close out the top of the first. Connor Wallersheim gets out of the jam in the bottom of the first, leaving 3 runners stranded. Due up for the Bullfrogs here in the second will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Ben Hart, Ben Challey, and Zach Plunkett. Brad Littleton comes set. First pitch of the inning. Swung on a frozen rope line, driving to right field, and Kean O'Brien underneath of it grabs it for out number 1. Well hit ball by Ben Hart there, just straight to Kean O'Brien out there in right. Doesn't even have to move. A rainbow of a shot over there. However, an easy grab for O'Brien puts an out on the board. So Ben Challey now digs in, left fielder out of UW Milwaukee. First one to him, a fastball that runs high at the eyes, 1-0. Just as a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at GB Bullfrogs. 1-0. Swung on, a bouncing ground ball to the second baseman Martinez. The throw to first in time gets Challey by a step. Chopper up the middle of the field, and Brad Littleton now has thrown 2 pitches, and the Bullfrogs have 2 outs on the board. See if he can't make it a 3-pitch inning. Of course, the right-handed hurler out on the mound. Brad Littleton coming into the game struggling on the season with a 6.02 ERA coming into the game. First pitch into Zach Plunkett. That swung on, a line drive into right field. That might drop in fair territory. It does. Plunkett takes a large lead around first, but he'll stay there as Zach Plunkett grabs himself a single, and now 4 hits on the night for the Bullfrogs. And it won't be a 1-2-3 inning. Instead, it will be a runner at first with 2 outs on the board, and we're back up to the top of the lineup. Mikey Falia, the center fielder, digs in. He led off the game with a single into right center field. Falia would then be called out on the 2 batters later as Troy Johnston would hit into a fielder's choice. Brad Littleton out on the mound, comes set, first pitch. Change up, then runs high, a ball and no strikes. Mikey Falia out of UC Irvine on this season, coming into the game batting .301 with 15 RBIs. Has been a bright spot in the lineup all season. The 1-0 from Littleton. Swung on, that one fouled away right side, 1-1. The dimensions here at Rivet Stadium, we're looking at 312 on the right field side and 315 down the left field side. Might have heard the clap in the background. A fan here made the grab on the fly. No dimensions in dead center. However, similar field dimensions here as the Doc Spiner Stadium out in Fond du Lac, I would say. Another park that is very much so uniform in how the outfield is. There's no odd crevices such as Joanne Stadium. So 1-2 count after Falia fouls away another one with 2 outs on the board and Zach Plunkett at first. Brad Littleton comes set out on the mound. And the right-handed pitcher deals in the 1-2. That one swung on, a line driving to left field. Zach Reams takes 3 steps forward, waits for the ball to come to him, and makes the grab for out number 3. The Bullfrogs are seeing the ball well tonight. Just got to find the gap a couple of more times. 4 hits on the night already here, and we just finished up with the top of the second. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Suring, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Bottom of the second inning about to get underway, and Connor Wallersheim out on the mound. Left-handed pitcher out of Kent State so far on the night has not allowed a hit. However, would walk 2 batters in that first inning. Would put 2 outs on the board and then walk Neil Tyrell. Zach Reams would then ground to the second baseman Ben Hart, but would throw it to first off target. It was a ground ball that was straight to Ben Hart. It was going to be the easiest out of the season, and he kind of just tossed it over to Willie Bourbon. I don't know if it slipped out of his hands or what happened, but it was way off target. I mean, you see off-target throws quite often here in the Northwoods League, and quite often it's because of a field player launching one in to try to beat out a runner. Well, this one, Ben Hart was just trying to toss it to Willie Bourbon just to get out of the side and go back to the dugout and pick up his bat because he was leading things off. But instead, it just went way to the left of the first base bag over towards the infield grass. Willie Bourbon hops off of the bag and can't even put the mid on it. A lapse of concentration from Ben Hart, but Connor Wallersheim wouldn't get out of the bind. Leading things off here in the second inning for the Rockford Rivets is Patrick Loeffler, the first baseman. First one to Loeffler, runs low for a ball, a 1-0. The 1-0, that one comes in low as well, and a 2-0 count. Wallersheim falls behind and leads things off here in the second. 2-0. That's a fastball that paints the outside corner. 2-1. Wallersheim, of course, the left-handed pitcher out of Kent State. I've talked about time and time again just how fast the kid works. 2-1. Fastball and runs low, and the count moves to 3-1. And as a broadcaster, it's great and fun to watch and fun to call, but it's tough to get your tidbits in here and there. 3-1. That one swung on and popped up foul left side into the grandstand seating that sits on the left side of the field here. Foul. 3-2. So full count, and Loeffler digs back in. Wallersheim comes set, kicks the leg, and the payoff. That one swung on and fouled straight back into the backstop netting. Count will stay full. Patrick Loeffler at the beginning of the season would go by Loeffler, but got the right pronunciation down and in. Payoff pitch comes in, a fastball high and tight, ball 4. Patrick Loeffler kind of has to dodge away from it just to make sure he's not hit. It's ball 4, and it's the third batter tonight that Connor Wallersheim would face. Of course, in that first inning, he would walk Kean O'Brien to load the bases, but then would force Anthony Forte to pop up to first to get out of the frame, leaving 3 stranded. Leads things off with a walk here in the bottom of the second, and Zach Bailey, the third baseman, digs in. First one into Bailey. Fastball and swung on. Pop up. Ben Hart tracking back, and in the outfield grass in right field records out number 1. One away here, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter Trevor Paradosky. Paradosky, the shortstop on the season for the Rockford Rivets, coming into the game struggling at the plate a bit. Paradosky coming into the game currently supporting a batting average that sits at just .274. First one, shows bunt, lays it down, right back to Wallersheim. The throw to first in time, and it does move the runner over to second for the leadoff man, Bryn Martinez. Not the best bunt from Zach Bailey. It goes straight back to the pitcher in Connor Wallersheim. And Trevor Paradosky kind of laughing, shaking his head at his coach. I don't think he wanted to bunt there, but he puts it down anyway. And while he goes back into the dugout, he's still laughing. It does move the runner over. I'm sure he's telling his coach there, look, man, I told you I couldn't bunt well. So Bryn Martinez, the leadoff man, digs in. First one to him. Swung on a frozen rope in the right center field. Base hit. Rounding third is Patrick Leffler. He's going to come across to score, and it'll be an RBI single for Bryn Martinez. Tie ball game 1-1 here in the bottom of the second after that one. And so the sacrifice bunt from Trevor Paradosky proves it there, and the third base coach laughing with his dugout. He said, look, guys, I told you it would work. Moves the runner over with a sac bunt, and Bryn Martinez makes the most of the opportunity. An RBI single. Patrick Leffler comes around to score, and Hunter Fiducia digs in. Throw back to first. They got him. A pickoff attempt from Connor Wallersheim, and the third out is recorded. And that might be the first time all season that the Bullfrogs have successfully picked off a runner. Connor Wallersheim strutting off the mound, pleased with himself for that one. And that does it for the bottom of the second inning. The Rockford Rivets get a run on the board. Bottom in the second inning just comes to a close. On to the third we go. We're all tied up 1-1. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rockford, Illinois, Rivet Stadium. Top of the third, about to get underway. Still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets is Brad Littleton, the right-handed pitcher out of Indiana. Brad Littleton coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets had his up and downs this season. In 6 starts, has a 6.02 ERA, has allowed 18 walks, striking out 19, and a 2-3 record. The Indiana prospect is transferring out of Indiana and will be with Lewis University come next season. This past season for Indiana would get limited playing time, just 9 appearances, where he would post a 10.38 ERA. First pitch of the inning, a fastball that runs high and tight, and it hits Riley Smith in the back for outs, or rather a hit by pitch. Riley Smith, as he's walking over to the first base bag, kind of jumps at the pitcher almost in a comical way, not serious whatsoever. But he's hit by a pitch, and it puts a runner on here for the Bullfrogs to lead off this third inning. Troy Johnston digs in, the right fielder out of Gonzaga. And Brad Littleton comes set, nods his head, the first one. It's swung on, ground ball right side, base hit. Riley Smith rounding second, going to try to go to the 3 bag and gets there standing up. And runners on the corners here for the Bullfrogs with no outs on the board. Troy Johnston continues his hot hitting. Last night would go 3 for 4 for the Bullfrogs with a double and an RBI. That RBI his 30th of the season, and continuing exactly where he finished yesterday. Dan Leckie, the third baseman, digs in, led things off for his day with a ground rule double in the first inning. A hard hit ball in the right field corner, and if it stays fair, it likely would have been a triple and an RBI. Instead, it was a double and put runners at second and third. Eventually, the runner at third and Troy Johnston would come around to score as Kyle Benio would manage an infield single. Dan Leckie watches one go by high, 1-0. Littleton comes set. deals in the 1-0. Bullfrogs batting .260, has 14 RBIs, and he has played in just around 19 games for the Frogs. A relative new 2-1, they count moves. Dan Leckie, he's a guy that be solid choice in the 4-hole. Has 3 home run RBIs and has managed 20 hits in 20 games as well. Right-handed batter stands in. Brad Littleton comes set and deals. Swung on, slow grounder right back at him. Stares down the runner at third. The throw to first is in time. And so the Bullfrogs move the one runner over into scoring position, but there's 1 out on the board. Just a tapper straight back to the pitcher and Brad Littleton. He gloves it and stares down Riley Smith at third. Smith runs back to the third base bag, and Littleton able to turn around and throw it to first for the first out. So Kyle Bino will dig in now for the Bullfrogs, the 5-hole hitter, 1 for 1 on the day, and that infield single that scored a run for the Bullfrogs in the first. Tie ball game here in the top of the third, 1-1. First one to Kyle Bino, runs low, 1-0. Bino playing in his first game in about 9 or 10 days for the Bullfrogs. Right-handed batter out of Youngstown State stands in. Brad Littleton comes set, the 1-0. That one runs wide and moves the count to 2-0. Kyle Bino on the season batting .257, 22 RBIs, leads this Bullfrogs teams in home runs with 6. The righty stands in. Brad Littleton comes set and sends in the 2-0. That one swung on, a pop-up in the infield. Catcher underneath of it, called off by the third baseman who runs over and makes the grab for outs number 2. Solid play by Zach Bailey there, the third baseman. Catcher Hunter Fiducia throws his mask off and kind of looked a bit puzzled of where the ball was, but third baseman Zach Bailey on it off the start, calls everyone out and registers the out. So with 2 runners on and no outs on the board, now moves to 2 runners on with 2 outs on the board. Willie Bourbon digs in for the Bullfrogs. The first baseman his last time up, popped up to second. First one into Bourbon, runs high and wide, moves the count to 1-0. Dan Leckie would follow up the Troy Johnston single with a ground out straight back to the pitcher, and Kyle Bino just pops up to the third baseman. The Northwestern product stands in out of Illinois, a local, 1-0. That one swung on and found away the left side, 1-1. Willie Bourbon from Riverwoods, Illinois. Not too far from Rockford or Kenosha, Wisconsin. Has family that comes to both of those games. Family likely in the stands tonight. So a 1-1 count here, 2 outs on the board, runners at second and third. Bourbon waves, stands in, left-handed batter awaits. The righty and Littleton deals in the 1-1. That one swung on and fouled back off the end of the bat, 1-2. Troy Johnston stands at second, and Riley Smith just 90 feet away at third, trying to give the Bullfrogs a lead. Bourbon, the left-handed batter, supports the EO shield on the right arm. White batting gloves. And a black Under Armour. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. 2 runners in scoring position. Brad Littleton trying to get out of the frame of the 1-2. That one runs high and wide, and the count moves even. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. It's a cloudy day here in Rockford tonight. Cool temperatures, but not cold per se like we had in Wausau, Wisconsin a couple of days ago. No threat of rain, it looks like either. Just going to be a cloudy, dark night. 2-2. That one runs into the dirt. A solid job by Hunter Fiducia just to get in front of that one. If that one gets back to the backstop, easily going to score Riley Smith from third. Does move the count full, however. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Northwestern Product stands in and awaits. Brad Littleton comes set, takes a breath, the payoff pitch. Swung on, found a way right side that time. Willie Bourbon chases that one high. Count remains. Not much protection for fans here in Rockford. Of course, Kenosha, another place that doesn't have much netting for spectators. We saw that scary moment where an elderly gentleman was hit by a line drive. Hopefully that doesn't get repeated here. Full count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Payoff pitch. Swung on, that one found a way left side. Landing into the stands, and again, as I mentioned, not much coverage here for fans. The backstop netting just goes around to the start of both teams' dugouts, and then it disappears. The seating here is a lot of seating, probably holds close to 5,000 people here at Rivet Stadium. But a crowd of about 1,000 tonight, of course, a team that's trying to build its brand here in the Northwoods League. Full count, 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on. Payoff pitch from Littleton. That one runs high, and Willie Bourbon works the walk, and it brings up one of the hottest men in the Northwoods League in Ben Hart. Hart batting .287 on the season, and here in his last 10 games for the Bullfrogs, much better than that. In the last 30 games, Ben Hart is at the top of the leaderboard in all of the Northwoods League when it comes to batting average. Sits about 7th or so, batting .315, .330 over his last 30 games. First one to him. It's a breaking ball. It runs right over the plate, 0-1. Bases loaded here for the Bullfrogs. Led off this top of the 3rd inning with 2 runners on and no outs on the board. Brad Littleton has put 2 outs. Can he get the 3rd? The 0-1. That one runs high and moves the count to a ball and a strike. Willie Bourbon standing over at first. He worked the walk, and he worked it as well, fouling away a quite many 3 or 4 pitches to stay alive. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs on the board. Bases loaded. Bullfrogs trying to take a lead. We're tied up 1-1. Brad Littleton comes set. The 1-1. That one swung on, slow grounder to 3rd. He's got it, steps on the 3rd base bag, and Zach Bailey gets his Rockford Rivets out of the frame, stepping on the 3rd base bag there. Tip your hat off to Brad Littleton. He gets it done. 2 runners on, no outs on the board, forces a ground out, a pop-up, and another ground out to get out of the frame. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
It's Cellcom's Customer Appreciation Celebrations. Get smartphones from the top 2 brands for just $0.01 each, along with food prices and sales on accessories. Cellcom, built for you. Available day of event only. New 2-year activation qualified upgrade required. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/celebrate for details.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here. Bottom of the 3rd, inning about to get underway. Connor Wallersheim, the Kent State left-handed pitcher, still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs, has allowed just 1 hit through 2 frames. Leading things off here for the Rockford Rivets in the bottom of the 3rd, Hunter Fiducia. First one to him. It's a breaking ball that finds the lower portion of the zone, 0-1. Hunter Fiducia, the guy that has been on fire this summer, batting .372. You heard that number right. .372 in 39 games, has 58 hits, 16 doubles, and 36 RBIs. Another one goes by for a ball, and the 1-1. That one swung on and found a way left side, 1-2. Fiducia hits in the 2-hole spot for the Rockford Rivets. His last time up would line out to center. Fiducia, 6'2", 183-pound sophomore, swings at the 1-2 and misses. Strike 3. A rare strikeout from Fiducia, and that puts out number 1 on the board. And it brings up the new batter in Neil Tyrell. Neil Tyrell, the designated hitter on the season, batting just .236 for the Rivets. First one to him, high and wide, 1-0. Neil Tyrell does have 27 RBIs on the year, as he takes a huge cut at the 1-0 and misses 1-1. Chases that one out of the zone, and Wallersheim sends in the 1-1. Swung on, a well-hit ball into left center field. Tracking over is Falia, running, making the grab for out number 2. Mikey Falia kind of jogging out there in center field, and it looked like it was going to find the gap. All of a sudden, Mikey Falia turns on the Jets and makes the grab out there, covering some ground. Not an easy play for the center fielder, but boy, did that look good. Second out recorded, and 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Zach Reams digs in now. First one to him, a fastball wide, 1-0. Zach Reams had a Texas Tech, batting .227 on the season. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. I mean, Wallersheim, he can really make some batters look silly, especially the way he deals it in one after another. Right now, for instance, he's standing set on the mound. Zach Reams stepping out, puts his hand up, and watch, right when he puts it down, the pitch is coming in. Looks up, and here it comes, the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on, popped up, foul territory, out of play on the left field side, where a fan makes the barehanded grab. Nice play. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board, nobody on here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're tied up 1-1. 5 hits tonight already for the Bullfrogs and just 1 for the Rivets. The 1-2. Fastball that runs high and tight, and that one hits him. Hits him square in the inside shoulder. And Zach Reams not happy about it. The hefty left-handed batter slowly walks to first, frustrated. That one gets away from Connor Wallersheim. And due up now for the Rockford Rivets is Keane O'Brien. O'Brien, the right fielder, his last time up, would work the walk. First one to him. Fastball, and then misses, 1-0. Keane O'Brien out of Madison College has played in limited games for the Rivets this season. The 1-0. That one runs in the dirt, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Keane O'Brien has 21 games this year, a late addition to this Rockford team. 14 hits and 5 RBIs. 2-0. Fastball that runs high, and Wallersheim falls behind 3-0. Wallersheim already on the night has walked quite the many batters, just rather 3 tonight, and a hit by pitch, not like him. 3-0. Breaking ball that hits the zone, 3-1. Of course, coming into the game, Connor Wallersheim supporting a strikeout to walk ratio of 53-21. The 3-1. Another breaking ball. This one runs high, and it's another walk. 4th batter tonight that Connor Wallersheim has walked. 5 if you count the hit by pitch. That brings up Anthony Forte, the center fielder. Forte, his last time up, would pop out to first, ending that first frame when the Rockford Rivets would load the bases. Wallersheim got out of the bind there, and with 2 runners on, we'll see if he can get out of another bind. First one into Anthony Forte. Fastball that hits the outside portion, 0-1. Defensive lineup tonight for the Bullfrogs. Out in left field is Ben Challey for the first time. And then in center, Mikey Falia. In right, Troy Johnston. The 0-1 from Wallersheim. Swung on and fouled straight back, 0-2. From third base to first base, it's Dan Leckie. Riley Smith at short. Ben Hart at second. And then Willie Bourbon. Behind home plate, Zach Plunkett. And Connor Wallersheim, starting pitcher. Comes set. And deals in the 0-2. Swung on, a little broken bat, blooper into right field, drops fair. They're going to send in the runner. Throw from right field. Not in time, gets past the catcher, Zach Plunkett, and Plunkett took his time going and trying to get the ball, and both runners advance another bat. The throw in from Troy Johnston on target in time, but Zach Plunkett was worried about the runner coming in, and so in the corner of the eye, he was watching him, and the ball bounces in and just gets missed by Plunkett. Whiffs at the air, the ball goes past his glove, and it scores and run, making an RBI single for Anthony Forte. An error against Troy Johnston out in right field. On the throw in, moves runners over. So there's runners at second and third now, and the Rivets have taken a 2-1 lead. Patrick Leffler fouls away the first one. The 0-1 swung on, grounder into the infield. Ben Hart has it, the throw to first, goes off target. One run scores. They're going to send in another. He scores, and to make it a 4-1 ball game now in favor of the Rivets. Errors have hurt the Bullfrogs early in this one. 3 runs have come across here in the bottom of the third inning, and all due to errors. A slow grounder to Ben Hart. He scoops it up. The throw to first off target. The second time that Ben Hart has thrown one off target. Puts 2 runs across. The first run came across in this one because Troy Johnston's throw from shallow right field not on target. And the good play recently, I guess, has caught up to the Bullfrogs. They trail 4-1 now. And it's not due to Colin Wallersheim, who out there on the mound has allowed just 2 hits through 2 2/3. First one into the new batter, Bailey. Goes by for a strike. He swings at the 0-1 and fouls that one away, 0-2. Zach Bailey, a newcomer to this team for the Rockford Rivets, has yet to record a base hit. So it's an E4 that scores 2 runs. Patrick Loeffler able to get over to second off of the throwing error. And so there's a runner at second with 2 outs on the board. All of this in the bottom of the third inning has come with 2 outs on the board. The 1-2. Swung on, popped up foul left side. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. So Zach Ream scores off of the E. On the board run. Connor Wallersheim comes set, kicks the leg, the 1-2. Breaking ball that finds the zone, and a backwards K for Connor Wallersheim to close out the frame. The Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded, but 3 unearned runs come across against the Bullfrogs. Stay tuned for the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza,
home of the best lunch buffet in town.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rockford, Illinois here, top of the fourth frame, about to get underway. 3 unearned runs come across for the Rockford Rivets in the bottom of the third, and the Rivets lead 4-1. Bullfrogs have out-hit the Rockford Rivets here earlier in the game, 5 hits to 2, and we are about underway with the top of the fourth inning. Ben Jolly digs in to lead things off, and Brad Littleton still out on the mound, deals in a pitch. It's swung on, a bouncer left side, foul, 0-1. 3 errors tonight against the Bullfrogs. None for the Rivets. Troy Johnston's throw in to home, away off target, scores 1 run. And then a throw-in error against Ben Hart at second, scores 2 more. 0-1. Check swing that runs wide, and they appeal to first. He says no, did not go around. Count moves to 1-1. Over on the first base side, it's Chris Ordway. At third, Tyler Harvey. And behind home plate, Patrick Jeter. 1-1. That one swung on and missed, 1-2. And Ben Challey way behind that one, loses his balance trying to swing at it. An awkward swing. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Brad Littleton, the Indiana University product, comes set. Rocks his leg in the 1-2. Fastball and then runs high and wide and evens the count up 2-2. Brad Littleton has a very methodic windup, rocks back, puts the ball above his head, kicks his leg up, winds tight to a ball, and just kind of unleashes it. The 2-2 comes in, it's swung on and fouled away right side, and the count remains 2-2. Brad Littleton on this season with a 6.02 ERA, but has proven to be one of the better starters on the team. The 2-2. Breaking ball that is swung on, slow grounder to third. Bailey has it on the run, throws to first in time, 1 away. So Ben Challey leads off this top of the fourth inning with a ground out to third. And Zach Plunkett, the catcher, digs in. Zach Plunkett, his last time up in the second inning, would manage a single, but would be left stranded there, as Mikey Falia would follow that up with a line out to left field. Zach Plunkett, the University of Arkansas product, sat out this past season due to redshirting. First one in. Fastball, bouncing ground ball to Trevor Paradosky at short. The throw to first in time beats out Zach Plunkett by a step, 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and that will bring up Mikey Falia. Falia, the center fielder, is 1 for 2 tonight. Led off the game with a single and then lined out to left field his last time up. We're here at the top of the fourth inning where the Bullfrogs trail 4-1. Brad Littleton out on the mound looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Out there on the mound, takes a deep breath and toes the rubber. Falia, the right-handed batter out of UC Irvine, digs in and awaits. Littleton comes set, the kick of the leg, the first pitch. Swung on, popped up foul, right side, out of play. That one bouncing over towards the club seating area, and I think a gentleman there might have got hit by a ricochet. Moves the count to 0-1. Rivet Stadium, probably the most similar to a minor league park feel. A large concourse, concession stands on both sides. 0-1. Swung on, grounder up the middle of the field. Second baseman Martinez has it, throw to first in time. beat South Philea by half of a step. That one was close. A slow grounder bleeder that might have killed a couple of worms along the way. Martinez scoops it up, a sidearm toss to first, and that does it for the top of the fourth inning. The Bullfrogs go down in order 1, 2, 3. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
At 24/7 well and pump service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 well and pump service. Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Bottom of the fourth inning about to get underway. Connor Wallersheim's day has come to a close. Hits 61 innings. They had talked about before the game that they were thinking about not pitching him that deep into the game because he's pitched so much. This was his 10th start on the season, and so his day comes to a close after 61 pitches. In those 3 innings of work, just 1 earned run comes out across against him, but 4 runs overall. 2 errors against the Bullfrogs in the bottom of the third puts 3 runs across. And in 3 innings of work, allowed 1 earned run, would walk 3 and strike out 3. Allowed just 2 hits throughout the contest, and so the Bullfrogs go to the pin early, and they bring out Jake Asp. Asp, the right-handed pitcher out of Villanova from Sugar Grove, Illinois, not too far from Rivet Stadium whatsoever. You can expect his parents to be in town. Trevor Paradosky will lead things off here for the Rockford Rivets, left-handed hitter out of Texas Tech. Jake Esp on the season for the Bullfrogs has been one of the better options to go to in the pen as a 3.89 ERA. First pitch, fastball that hits the corner, 0-1. Jake Epps, the right-handed hurler out of Villanova. I was able to talk with him earlier in this season to talk about his goals going into next season. 0-1. Fastball that runs low this time, a ball and a strike now. And he said one of the things that he really wanted to work on was just working on his off-speed pitch, and then his goal was to be an everyday starter. 1-1. That one swung on and found a way left side, 1-2. He wanted to be the weekend guy. Said that he was normally the Wednesday, Thursday starter for the Villanova Wildcats, and he wanted to be the go-to guy. He wanted to be his team's ace, and, well, he's played well this summer. He could easily bring that into next season. The 1-2, swung on, chopper right side, ground ball to first. Willie Bourbon grabs it right next to the bag, steps on the first base bag, and records out number 1. 1 up, 1 down, and that brings us back up to the top of the lineup. Brandon Martinez digs in. Martinez 1 for 2 today, managed the RBI single in the second inning. First one to him. Fastball, that then is swung on and fouled off of the bat. Ricochets off of Zach Plunkett's helmet, and then ricochets off of the face mask of the home plate umpire, Patrick Jeter. 0-1. Bryn Martinez out of Quincy University, batting just .229 on the year with 7 RBIs. That's, of course, just with the Rivets. Was with Kalamazoo earlier. 0-1. Fastball that runs inside, 1-1. There aren't that many guys that have changed teams this season. Of course, Michael Bolke, a pitcher for the Bullfrogs, he's a guy that started his year out with the Thunder Bay Border Cats and then came down to Green Bay. 1-1. Fastball that runs wide, 2 balls and a strike now. This past season, Jake Esp at Villanova would have a pretty good solid season. A 4.28 ERA. 2-1. Fastball that hits the lower outside portion. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And that was in 21 appearances. He wasn't just a guy that would show up here and there. The guy would appear in 2-2. That one swung on and fouled straight back over the press box and over towards the concession stands on the grandstand seating and on the concourse here. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Would deal in 14 strikeouts in his 21 appearances with a 2-1 record. 2-2. Swung on, line drive right field, base hit, making a multi-hit day for Bryn Martinez as it bounces at the feet of Troy Johnston. The 3rd hit of the game for the Rivets. And that will bring up Hunter Fedusa. Fedusa 0 for 2 on the day. His last time up would go down swinging, and as I mentioned briefly, not a guy that goes down swinging often. Coming into the game supporting a .372 batting average. Unreal numbers. First one to him. Fastball that runs low. Belt shin level of Fedusa. 1-0. So a runner at first here, 1 out on the board. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning where the Bullfrogs trail 4-1. Throw back to first, runner back safely. Bryn Martinez over there at first. The last time he managed a single would it be picked off by Wallershine. 1-0 pitch from Jake S. Throw back to first, they got him. Throw to second, goes into the outfield nearly. The runner slides in safely, but another throwing error against the Bullfrogs. This time, it's not detrimental, but it puts a runner over. Jake S. with a successful pickoff attempt to first puts Bryn Martinez stranded between first and second, so Martinez takes off for second. Willie Bourbon loses his footing on the throw and it goes way high in the air. Riley Smith has to snag it out of the air. Snap throw to second, and that one nearly gets into the outfield. Some dangerous play here from the Bullfrogs. Willie Bourbon at first throw, as mentioned, just way above the head of Riley Smith, and Bryn Martinez is able to steal second because of it. He stands in scoring position now. 1-1, swung on, ground ball to second. Hart backhands it, but can't make the grab. A slow grounder up the middle of the field. Ben Hart, the second baseman, puts the glove down, rolls into his glove, and then rolls out of it. The 4th error of the game, the 3rd against Ben Hart. An E4 puts runners at first and third now as Bryn Martinez moves over a bag. And with runners on the corners, 1 out on the board, it could easily be the end of the inning as the Bullfrogs had Martinez stranded and then an E4 there. Neil Tyrell digs in. Jake S. comes set and the delivery. Fastball that runs high, 1-0. Neil Tyrell out of Lewis University this past season would bat .263. Or rather, this season for the Rivets would bat .263. He swings at the 1-0 and fouls it straight back into the backstop netting. A ball and a strike. 27 RBIs this season for Neil Tyrell has been a viable option here in the 3-hole. Looking to make it 28 RBIs with the runner at third. The 1-1. Fastball and then runs right over the plate. A ball and 2 strikes now. 4 errors against the Bullfrogs, none for the Rockford Rivets, only here in the bottom of the 4th frame. Rockford Rivets threatening to score another. The 1-2. Swung on, bouncer to the shortstop, Riley Smith. Throw to first in time for out number 2. Willie Bourbon stretching out to make that one, and kind of when he's making the transfer to throw back to the pitcher, drops it there. And so everyone in the stands kind of takes a gasp, thinking that maybe it was another error, but no. He's able to hold on to it long enough to get the runner out. 2 away. Run comes across, however, so it will be an RBI for Neil Tyrell, his 28th of the season. First one into Zach Reams, a fastball that runs high, 1-0. 5-1, Rivets lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Have just 3 hits on the night, however. Make it 4 errors against the Bullfrogs. 1-0. Swung on line, driving to right field. Tracking back, Troy Johnston. That one off the wall. Rounding third is the base runner. He scores. Reams rounding first, gets to second, standing up, and making an RBI double for Zach Reams. Hunter Fiducia comes around to score, and the Bullfrogs trail 6-1. An absolute collapse over the last 2 innings, as many runs have now scored off of errors. It has looked ugly for the Bullfrogs. Coming into the game, they were on fire and won 6 of their last 7, but Zach Reams with a frozen rope line drive deep into right field. Troy Johnston in a dead sprint back can't make the play. Bounces off the warning track and off the wall and gets away from him. New batter is Kean O'Brien, the right fielder for the Rockford Rivets. He's been walked twice tonight. First one goes by high for a ball. The 1-0. That one runs low. 2 balls and no strikes now. Swing and a miss. Moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. 2 outs, runner at second. The dish. Swung on a pop up right side. Willie Bourbon underneath of it. Tracking back into the outfield grass. Raises his glove and grabs out number 3. Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded, but it's 2 that come across in the bottom of the 4th inning and 1 unearned. Stay tuned for the top of the 5th inning. Bullfrogs look to try to turn it around. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Did you know that we here at the O'Connell Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the O'Connell Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. Top of the 5th inning, about to get underway. Brad Littleton still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. Littleton so far tonight has pitched pretty well. Has allowed 5 hits through 4 frames, but just 1 earned run and 1 walk. Has yet to strike out a batter. Due up for the Bullfrogs will be the leadoff man, or rather, my apologies, Riley Smith, the 2-hole hitter, the shortstop. Riley Smith 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to left field and a hit by pitch. We're here in the top of the 5th inning where the Bullfrogs trail 6-1. First one into Smith. Fastball that runs high, 1-0. Just 1 earned run has come across against the Bullfrogs, yet they trail 6-1. The 1-0. That's a fastball that hits the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 errors against the Bullfrogs, and surprising as well. The Bullfrogs coming into the game hot. They've played great recently in every facet of the game, but fielding their troubles tonight. 1-1. Breaking ball that drops all the way into the dirt. Moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. Riley Smith out of the University of Minnesota this past season for the Golden Gophers would bat just 143. Had a tough sophomore year after being named a Big Ten All-Freshman. during his first season. 2-1. Swung on, line drive foul, left side into the stands. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Riley Smith on a bit of a cold streak is 0 for 10 currently. In his last 10 at-bats, that is. Coming into that 0 for 4 day against the Wisconsin Woodchucks that started the cold streak, was on an 8-game hit streak. 2-2. Swung on, a fly ball into center. Anthony Forte jogging to his right, raises his glove, and Riley Smith make that 0 for 11 now. Makes the grab. That brings up Troy Johnston, the right fielder. Johnston tonight 1 for 2. Managed a single in the 3rd inning and hit it to a fielder's choice in the 1st. Would come around to score in that 1st as well. Johnston, left-handed hitter out of Gonzaga, digs in. First one to him. Fastball and then runs wide, 1-0. Johnston on the season coming into the game batting .296. One of those guys that recently for the Bullfrogs has hit much better. There's been a lot of guys that have been like that. 1-0. Fastball and then runs tight, 2-0. Johnston leaning away from that one to avoid being hit. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out on the board, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning. Bullfrogs trail 6-1. The 2-0. Swung on, a fly ball into left field. Running forward is left fielder Zach Reams, and on the run grabs out number 2. Been quite the many flyouts tonight for the Bullfrogs, as that one is flew out into left field. An opposite field hit from Troy Johnston, but an easy grab for the left fielder Zach Reams. And that brings up Dan Leckie, the 3rd baseman tonight. Leckie's 1 for 2, managed a ground rule double in the 1st inning. Could have been a triple if it doesn't make it over the wall out there in right field, as it got into the corner. First one into Leckie. Fastball that runs high and wide, 1-0. Leckie out of Lafayette College. This past season for Lafayette would have a solid year. The 1-0. Fastball that hits the outside corner, 1-1. Had a good sophomore campaign for Lafayette where he would bat .291. Suffered a season-ending injury, however. 1-1. Fastball right over the zone, 1-2. It was late in the season as well, so he didn't get to miss all that much of the year. And he's back in action, of course, now as he has played in about 20 games for the Bullfrogs. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Brad Littleton in a groove makes it the 2nd straight 1-2-3 inning and grabs his first strikeout of the day. That does it for the top of the 5th. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin, every Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brewpub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Rockford, Illinois, here at Rivet Stadium. New pitcher out on the mound, so Jake S. Day comes to a close. He only spins 1 frame out on the mound. It'll be Alex Stodola, right-handed pitcher out of UW Stevens Point, to try to get the Bullfrogs into the late innings. Jake S. comes in, deals in just 1 inning, allowing 2 hits, no earned runs, would walk none or strike out none. In that 1 frame, though, 2 runs would come across, both unearned. Alex Stodola on the season for the Bullfrogs has had his struggles on the mound, and Stodola in 7 appearances has an 11.25 ERA. An 0-1 record, has 12 strikeouts to 15 walks, and has allowed 15 earned runs in 12 innings. We'll see how we can do against this Rockford Rivets team, who is one of the hottest teams in the league, and it's proved that as well here tonight. 6-1 they lead. Of course, coming off of a big victory last night where they put 13 runs across, so they are on pace for that again tonight. We'll see if Stodola can't try to shut them down, and with a 5-run deficit, the Bullfrogs still in it. They have out-hit the Rockford Rivets tonight 5-4. To kind of put it into perspective how this game has gone, of those 6 runs, just 1 earned. So here we are, bottom of the 5th inning. Anthony Forte digs in to lead things off. First pitch from Stodola. Fastball that runs low, 1-0. Anthony Forte on the season, batting .286, has 20 RBIs. Out of Louisiana State units. The 1-0. Swung on, frozen rope line drive, right center field, base hit. Mikey Falia diving in. Did he make the catch? He did. Out number 1. I was ready to chalk it up as a hit, but instead, Mikey Falia with probably the best play we've seen from an outfielder all season. Diving in, somersaults in fact, to make the grab. Dives forward, lands on his upper back, rolls over, and comes up with the snow cone grab. What a play. 1 out on the board brings up Patrick Leffler, who swings at the first one he sees and fouls it away right side, 0-1. The second nice play by Mikey Falia tonight, of course, had that heck of a play in left center field earlier today when he turned on the Jets to catch up to a ball. 0-1. Shows bunt, pulls it away, it's low, 1-1. That time, diving forward, I mean, that's got to be the best catch we've seen by an outfielder. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Nobody on, bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1. Fastball and runs inside and low at the feet of the batter Leffler. Leffler tonight is 0 for 1, hit into an error his last time up. 2-1. Fastball that skips across home plate. Moves the count to a hitter's count. 3-1. Leffler on the season for the Rockford Rivets, batting .248. The Indiana product awaits the 3-1. Fastball low, and Stodola walks Leffler. The second time tonight he's been on with a walk. Zach Bailey, the third baseman, stands in now. Zach Bailey 0 for 2 tonight and 0 for forever. In his career as Rockford Rivets, has yet to record a base hit. Today being his first appearance out there for the Rockford Rivets as well. The Madison College product awaits the first one to him. Swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. Last time Zach Bailey dug in, he would go down looking. It would have been the 3rd strikeout victim of Connor Wallersheim, and it would be the last batter that Wallersheim would face as well. The 0-1 dish. Fastball and Hunt runs wide. Moves the count even, a ball and a strike. Alex Stodola out of UW Stevens Point. Started the season out for the Bullfrogs on a temporary contract, but has since re-signed for the rest of the year. The 1-1. Breaking ball and runs low into the dirt. 2-1 now. Can't seem to get the ball out of his glove. And when he finally does and throws it to first, it's not in time as Paradowski manages to make it a fielder's choice. That brings up the leadoff man, Brandon Martinez. 1-2. Fastball that runs wide, 1-0. Martinez 2 for 3 tonight with a run scored and an RBI. A 1-0. Swung on and fouled straight back to the backstop netting. 1-1. We talked about it quite briefly, but Martinez, of course, with the Kalamazoo Growlers at the start of the year. This past season at Quincy was a starting shortstop coming into the year, but would struggle and eventually would lose that starting spot. 1-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. 1-2. As back during his freshman campaign, or sophomore campaign rather, would bat .336 and be named All-Conference. A first-team All-Region member as well, but back in 2017, this past season, struggled. 1-2. Grounder left side. Leckie misses it. It gets into the outfield. Another error, and a run comes across for the Rivets. It's a grounder over towards Dan Leckie. Bounces underneath of his glove. Absolutely misses it. Whiffs on it, tries to scoop it out of the ground, and just comes up with thin air. Riley Smith, the shortstop, running over just to try to put a mitt on it. And it's an E5 that scores a run and make that 6. Unearned run now for the Rivets. 7-1 the ball game is. Runners at first and second. Hunter Fiducia digs in. First one to him. Fastball wide, 1-0. Fiducia 0 for 3 tonight. Got on base due to an error in the fourth frame and would come around to score. The 1-0. That one runs high also, and it seems like all of the pitchers for the Bullfrogs just can't get out of it. Their fielders on helping them out behind them. 6 unearned runs. 5 errors tonight for the Bullfrogs. 2-0. Fastball and runs inside. 3-0. He falls behind. That one runs high and gets away from the catcher. Plunkett, but it won't matter because it's ball 4. And everyone takes a base. Runners at first, second, and third now. And Neil Tyrell digs in. 2 outs on the board. We'll see if Stadola can get out of it. At this point, Stadola has had success when he pitches in situations where games are kind of out of hand. We'll see if he can get out of it here. First one to Neil Tyrell. Comes right over the plate. 0-1. A fastball from the right-handed pitcher out of Stevens Point. So Hunter Fiducia at first with a walk. Bryn Martinez at second off of the E5. And Trevor Paradosky at third. The 0-1 swung on a pop-up, foul territory. Willie Bourbon running over in front of his dugout, makes the grab, and the third out is finally recorded. Bullfrogs leave 3 stranded, but it's another run that comes across in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's another unearned run. Stay tuned for the top of the 6th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the 6th inning. Make it 5 unearned runs that have come across tonight for the Rockford Rivets. The first 2 the Rivets score are earned, but the next 5, not so much. 4 hits tonight for the Rivets, yet they've managed 7 runs. 5 hits for the Bullfrogs, they've just plated 1, and we are about to get underway with the top of the 6th inning. Brad Littleton still out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. The right-handed pitcher out of Indiana has pitched well. Coming into this one, he has dealt in 5 innings of work, allowed just 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and has struck out 1. He closed out the bottom of the 5th inning with a strikeout and has pitched 2 perfect frames in his last 2 innings. We'll see what he can do here in the 6th. Leading things off, I should say, is Kyle Binio, the designated hitter. First one to him. Fastball that runs wide, 1-0. Kyle Binio back in the lineup after not making an appearance for some time. Did not play for 10 days due to an injury. The 1-0. Breaking ball, that one's inside for a strike, 1-1. Binio out of Youngstown State got the invite to go to the All-Star game to participate in the Home Run Derby for his 6 home runs. The 1-1 delivery from Littleton. Breaking ball, swung on, fouled away right side, 1-2. Kyle Binio, the designated hitter. 1 for 2 tonight. An RBI single back in the first inning, but would line out to the third baseman his last time up. The 1-2. Fastball, that one in the dirt, evens it up. We're here in the top of the 6th frame. The Bullfrogs trail 7-1. Littleton wasting no time, the 2-2. Swung on, a well-hit ball into left center field. Tracking over is Anthony Forte. That one drops fair, and it's another single for Kyle Binio. He's now 2 for 3. Welcome back to the lineup, Kyle Binio. Not having a bad re-debut. So Willie Bourbon, the first baseman, will dig in. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a pop-up to the second baseman his last time up. Or rather in the first inning, I should say. As his last time up, he managed to work the walk. Left-handed batter out of Northwestern digs in. First one to him. Swung on, a well-hit ball deep into left. Tracking back, Zach Reams at the warning track makes the grab. Hard hit by Northwestern zone Willie Bourbon. But Zach Reams out there in left field already playing pretty deep. He only has to backpedal a few steps to get that one. And it's an opposite field from Willie Bourbon. But it's an easy grab for Zach Reams. So 1 out away, and that brings up Ben Hart. Hart batting .287 on the season with 22 RBIs. Right-handed batter out of Oakland awaits. And Littleton deals. Fastball wide, 1-0. Ben Hart, right-handed batter, stands in, rests the bat on his shoulder and awaits. Littleton deals. A breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Nice curve there from Brad Littleton. And Ben Hart chases that one all the way out of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Hart, he's been a guy to watch for the Bullfrogs as he's been on fire recently. In the last 30 days, finds himself as the 7th best player in the league. 1-1. Breaking ball, that one runs high. Count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Ben Hart in his last 10 games batting .343 is a part of Bullfrogs that have just caught fire recently. Brad Littleton comes set. And the 2-1. Swung on, line drive right field, base hit. And so Ben Hart's great campaign recently continues. As mentioned, in his last 10 batting .343, 12 hits, a home run, and 5 RBIs. Listen to these stats for these 4 Bullfrogs who have just caught it recently. Absolutely on fire. Troy Johnston, 349 in his last 10. Dan Leckie, 368 in his last 10. Smith, 349 in his last 10. The Bullfrogs, as a team, batting in their last 10 games, 286. First one into Challey. Fastball that runs inside, 1-0. And so there's a reason that the Bullfrogs have won 6 out of 7. They just did not show up today. Defensively, at least, as they do have 7 hits tonight, but 5 errors. The 1-0 to Challey. Fastball that runs wide, 2 balls and no strikes now. This is Challey's 4th appearance in a Bullfrogs signing with the team. Started the year out on a temporary contract, playing in 7 games for the Bullfrogs and registering 4 hits. Brad Littleton comes set, and the 2-0. Swung on, a hard hit ball foul, left side, 2-1. Ben Challey out of UW Milwaukee. This past season at UW would have a solid season for Milwaukee. Ben Challey would be the best player on the team, quite frankly. Batting .327 with 23 RBIs and 4 stolen bases. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chases that one away. 2-2. And here, since he's rejoined the team, that's been his trouble, is that Ben Challey has kind of chased some balls out of the zone, does so there, and it evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 runners on, 1 out on the board. Top of the 6th inning. Bullfrogs trail 7-1. 2-2. Swung on, ground ball left side. Third baseman has it, throw to second in time. Throw to first, not in there. So they get the force out at second and make it a 5-4 out. But Ben Challey manages to turn on the Jets to make it a fielder's choice. And runners now stand in corners for the Bullfrogs, with Challey at first and Kyle Bino at third. Zach Plunkett, the catcher, digs in now for the Bullfrogs. Plunkett on the night, 1 for 2. Managed a base hit in the 2nd inning and would ground out to short his last time up. Talking about guys that are also hard, Plunkett is right in that category as well. He's batting .280 in his last 7 games. Has managed 7 hits and 3 RBIs. And that's compared to his normal batting average that sits at just 120. Or rather, 193. My apologies. Lost my footing in my notes here. First one by Plunkett goes by for a strike, 0-1. Of course, Zach Plunkett at one point this season was batting 120, but ever since that All-Star break, things are kind of taken off for Plunkett. 0-1. Check swing, it ran low. They want an appeal. They go down to first. It came around. 0-2. Plunkett kind of left the swing out there to prove that he didn't go around, but first base umpire over there, Chris Ordway, would have nothing of it. And the count sits at no balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board, runners on the corners. Brad Littleton checks both runners, comes set. And the 0-2. Fastball that runs way high. A ball and 2 strikes. Zach Plunkett sat out this past season at Arkansas due to transferring in from TCU. At Texas Christian, he would play in 39 games, registering just 12 hits. A career 167 batting average. 1-2. Breaking ball runs inside. 2-2. And Plunkett will tell you, in the past he tried to get by just with his defensive skills. He calls a great game, according to Bullfrogs pitchers. He's a threat constantly, can snap, throw, and just about get anybody out if you're not paying attention. But he said that he wants to bring an offensive game to his game. 2-2, swung on, ground ball to short. Throw to second, in time. A nice play from Trevor Paradowski. Gets the force out at second and leaves 2 runners stranded. It's a slow grounder to Paradowski to his right. He slides in, backhands it, pops up, throws to Martinez, who comes over to cover and grabs the out there, beating out Ben Challey. That does it for the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. The Bullfrogs trail 7 2-1. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Surrey, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Bottom of the 6th inning, about to get underway. Alex Shadola comes back out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Right-handed pitcher out of UW Stevens Point, a Division III school in Wisconsin, where this past season Alex Shadola would have a relatively solid year, posting a 3-2 record. Due up for the Rockford Rivets here in the bottom of the 6th inning will be Zach Reams. Zach Reams out of Texas Tech, batting .227 on the season with 25 RBIs. He swings at the first one, late on it, misses everything, 0-1. An absolute ginormous swing from Reams. So far on the night, Zach Reams comes into the at-bats 1 for 2. Was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning, but would be out in the 4th. The 0-1 goes by for a ball. That one in the dirt, gets away from Plunkett, rolls back to the backstop. And a ball and a strike now. Zach Reams, left fielder, stands in and awaits. Alex Shadola comes set, the 1-1. That one swung on, popped up foul left side. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Zach Reams out of Texas Tech. Just finished up his junior year where he would bat just .133 in 16 starts. Prior to Texas Tech, played at Cisco College where he would be phenomenal. .481, 17 home runs. An All-American there. The 1-2. Fastball runs wide, evens the count 2-2. So Reams trying to find that skill again. By no means is he no longer a great player, but it's tough to go from Cisco College level to, say, Big 12 level. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Reams goes down swinging. Make him now 0 for 3 tonight. So that will bring up Kean O'Brien. Bryan on the night has been walked twice. Kean O'Brien, the right-handed hitter out of Madison College, has been around the Rockford Rivets team for about 22 games or so. Right-handed batter stands in, first one to him. Fastball that runs inside, 1-0. O'Brien on the day is 0 for 1. The 1-0. That one runs wide for a ball as well, and 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out on the board, nobody on. Alex Shadola out on the mound, comes set. Kicks the leg, 2-0. That one runs inside, and that one hits O'Brien. The 3rd hit by pitch tonight from Bullfrogs pitchers. That one runs so far inside and hits O'Brien on the inside arm, just right in the bicep. And it puts a runner on with 1 out on the board. Talk about polar opposites. Gets Zach Reams to strike out and then deals in a couple of balls to O'Brien and then hits him with the nets. So O'Brien's been on first 3 times tonight without having to swing the bat. Anthony Forte digs in. snap throw from the pitcher, so rather a pickoff attempt from the pitcher. It is not in time. Marines slides back in safely. And so Forte digs back in. First one to him. Swung on over towards the first base side. Willie Bourbon calls off Alex Stadola, who was underneath of it for a little bit of time, as it was popped up pretty close to the pitcher's mound. And Willie Bourbon doing the right thing there, running in and calling off his pitcher, making the grab for outs number 2. So 2 away, and that will bring up Patrick Loeffler, the first baseman. Loeffler on the night is 0 for 1. Would hit into an error in the 3rd inning and has been walked twice. First one to him. That's a fastball, 1-0. Stola comes set, the righty at a Stevens point. A deep breath, and the 1-0. Fastball runs high, 2 balls and no strikes now. There's 2 outs on the board. There's a runner over at first. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning where the Bullfrogs trail 7-1. If you're just joining us, 5 unearned runs tonight from the Rockford Rivets. 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. The Rockford Rivets have scored in their past 5 innings. The Bullfrogs took a 1-0 lead in this game. And then the Rivets would respond with a run of their own in the bottom of the 2nd, 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the bottom of the 5th, and then here we are in the bottom of the 6th frame. The 2-1 pitch comes in wide, 3-1. Patrick Loeffler, first baseman, stands back in. Stadola kicks the leg, the 3-1 pitch. Fastball right over the zone, full count. Patrick Loeffler watches that one into the glove of Zach Plunkett. He thought it was ball 4. Stadola comes set. Kicks the leg, full count. Delivery runs low for ball 4. And Patrick Loeffler gets on base for the 3rd time tonight, or rather Loeffler, I should say. As Bullfrog pitchers have now combined to throw 6 walks. Alex Stadola, the 3rd pitcher on the mound tonight for the Bullfrogs, as Connor Wallersheim would deal just 3 innings of work. Jake S. would deal in just 1 frame, and then Stadola in his 2nd inning of work here. First one into Zach Bailey, runs foul. 0-1. Zach Bailey, still looking for his first hit in a Rockford Rivets uniform, was added to the team quite recently. Zach Bailey out of Madison College, one of 2 Madison College products on this lineup card for the Rockford Rivets. And Zach Bailey digs back in, down in the count, 0-1. Alex Stadola comes set, takes a breath in the 0-1 delivery. Swung on, ground ball left side. Dan Lecky's got this one, but the throw to first is a bit high. Willie Bourbon has to hop up in the air to grab it. Falls down on the first base bag, just beating the runner by a couple of feet. That does it, though, for the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Bullfrogs get out of it, leaving 2 stranded, and I think most notably don't let any runs across. As mentioned, it was 4 straight innings with the Rivets getting some runs across. They trail 7-1. Stay tuned for the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
American Inn Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Absolute beautiful night for baseball. Well, if you're a Rivets fan. The Bullfrogs trail 7-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. New pitcher out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. It will be Fernando Colon. Fernando Colon, a right-handed pitcher out of Puerto Rico. That's right, you heard that right. A little bit of international flair on for the Rockford Rivets. And it'll be Colon's third appearance here at home. Right-handed pitcher out of Puerto Rico. The season for the Rockford Rivets has not pitched all that bad. Leading things off here for the Bullfrogs in the top of the 7th will be the leadoff hitter, Mikey Falia. First one to him. Fastball that goes by wide, 1-0. Colon on the season for the Rockford Rivets, supporting a 12.15 ERA, and that coming in just 2 appearances. 1-0. That one in for a strike. In 6 2/3 innings, opposing batters have managed 9 runs against them. Colon does have a 1-0 record on the season. 1-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. So this is just his third appearance. Fernando Colon making his first appearance at home, rather, not his third appearance at home. First appearance at home, third appearance overall is what I was trying to relay there. The 1-2. Fastball that runs wide and evens the count up 2-2. He would get the win against the Wisconsin Woodchucks, as when he came into the game, he was the relief pitcher that pitched 5 innings. 2-2. Breaking ball that finds the zone. A curve from Colon absolutely fools. Mikey Falia goes down looking, and Falia can't believe it. Falia drops to 1-4 on the day, and it brings up Riley Smith, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2. A fly out to left field and a fly out to center, and was hit by a pitch in the third. And in that win against the Wisconsin Woodchucks, allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings of work. Not the absolute worst day by any means, as he would hold on to get the win. But when he comes in, the Wisconsin, or rather his Rivets team, had not allowed a run. But in that one, they do come away with a 12-6 victory. First one by Riley Smith goes by for a ball. Swung on and fouled off the mask of the catcher, Hunter Fiducia. 1-1. So the Puerto Rican out on the mound stands about 6'2", 175, and to be honest with you, looks a little stockier than 175 to me. Right-handed pitch. Mound comes set, rocks back, kicks the leg, the 1-1. Fastball, that one runs inside, and Riley Smith gets ahead, 2-1. Riley Smith, he's a guy that's been on fire recently. In his last 10, Riley's 3, but is 0-for-11 in his last 11 at-bats. 2-1. Swung on, a well-hit ball left side, foul. That ball hit so well, it might have been the first home run of the season if Riley Smith just fit behind it. Swings a little early on and pulls it all the way down the left field line. That ball would have been out of here. Would have been the first home run of the season for Riley Smith. I think he's impressed with himself there. Riley Smith this season for the Bullfrogs only has one double to his name. To kind of give it an idea, he's not a power hitter. Aces the 2-2, just a piece of it. Back to the dirt. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Riley Smith out of Minnesota this past season, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, kind of on a sophomore slump, but would have a freshman campaign, a 300 batting average. Done too shabby here in the Northwoods League, batting 287. The 2-2 from Cologne is dealt. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, a curve that just absolutely fools him. 2 strikeouts in a row now for the right-hander out of Puerto Rico. And away. That brings up Troy Johnston, the right. Johnston tonight 1 for 3. Managed a single in the 3rd frame, but would fly out to left field his last time up. First 1-2. Fastball and runs high and inside. We're in the top of the 7th inning where the Bullfrogs trail 7-1. The 1-0 delivery. Swung on, a fly ball, foul territory, out of play left side. And that one, the picnic area that borders the stadium on the left side here. 1-1. A huge concourse area here at Rivet Stadium. And for the ball hawk fans out there, one of the best parks to try to grab some fouls. 1-1. That one runs high. 2 balls and a strike now. Fernando Cole, right-handed pitcher, kicks his leg, and the 2-1 is dealt. Swung on, liner right side. First baseman diving to his right and makes the play. Hops up, foot race to the first base bag, and Patrick Leffler, the first baseman, grabs it for out number 3. Well hit grounder right side, a well played defensive move by Loeffler as well. Slide that one. Steps on the first base bag and retires the top of the 7th. You know what that means? Bottom underway, and Take Me Out to the Ball game is being played in the background. 7th inning stretch. It's Saturday night. Go grab yourself a cold one. Go grab yourself some snacks, but come back because the Bullfrogs still got a couple of innings in them. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Hi folks, this is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium. Bottom of the 7th inning about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound, so Alex Tadola day comes to a close. Alex Tadola pitches 3 innings, or rather 2 innings for the Bullfrogs, allowing no hits out there on the mound. Not a bad day. 1 run does come across, an unearned one, I must add. And he walks 3, striking out 1. New pitcher out on the mound is Ethan Ivanko, left-handed pitcher out of Grand Canyon University. Ivanko on the season for the Bullfrogs has pitched relatively well in most of his appearances. Has been used as a closer in the past, but is being used as a late-inning reliever here. I'm curious how long he'll stay out there on the mound. There's no one warming up in the bullpen currently for the Bullfrogs, but there is a pitcher warming up in the pen for the Rockford Rivets. Ethan Ivanko on the season, a 4.76 ERA. Due up for the Rockford Rivets here in the bottom of the 7th inning will be Trevor Paradosky. First one by him for a strike. The 0-1. Another fastball. This one hits the lower outside portion of the zone. 0-2. Ethan Ivanko has pitched just 5 2/3 of an inning for the Bullfrogs. 0-2. Swung on, just kind of threw his bat at it, and to pop up into shallow center. Shortstop Riley Smith tracking back, gets underneath of it, and grabs it for out number 1. Not much of a swing there from Trevor Paradosky. Kind of just threw his bat over the plate to try to protect it, and it ended up going into fair territory, and it ended up being a pretty easy play for Riley Smith as well. The shortstop went away. So back up to the top of the lineup, and it brings up Bryn Martinez, who is 2 for 4 on his last time up. Got on due to an E5. First one in. Breaking ball goes by for a strike. 0-1. Martinez disagrees with it. Steps out of the box, lets the home plate umpire know. Relaces his batting gloves and stands back in. 0-2. Fastball that runs inside and low. 1-1. Home plate umpire tonight, Patrick Jeter, has called a relatively solid game. Not much objections from not that many people, which of course was not the case in the Wisconsin Woodchuck series. The 1-1 from Ethan Ivanko. Kick of the leg and the dish. Breaking ball, that one right over the zone. 1-2. Ethan Ivanko out of Grand Canyon University this past season would have Tommy John surgery. The Gilbert, Arizona hometown native trying to get some reps here in the Northwoods League to bring back to school. The 1-2 runs inside, and Martinez thought he was hit. Home plate umpire says, no, come back. And Martinez is really frustrated. He says it hit him in the helmet. Martinez standing with helmet in hand, other hand on hip on the first base line. First base, third base coach and head coach of the Rockford Rivets comes over to disagree with the call. His hands on his head in frustration with the home plate umpire. Head coach, of course, for the Rockford Rivets, Brian Smith. He's had his words with the umpire, now walks back to the third base coach's spot. And Martinez swings at the 2-2. A blooper in the infield. Nobody can get there. And Bryn Martinez says, you know what? You're not going to give me a hit by pitch. I'll just get a base hit. A blooper in the infield, and he manages an infield single off of it. Make it the 5th hit of the game for the Rockford Rivets. Notably here for the Rockford Rivets, there's no first base coach. So Bryn Martinez kind of has to hold on to his batting gloves himself. He takes the lead at first, and Hunter Fiducia digs in. A rare 0 for 3 day to Fiducia. First one, fastball, and hits the outside corner, 0-1. So the argument goes in favor of the Rockford Rivets, I guess you could say. 0-1. Fastball and runs wide, 1-1. As Martinez manages his 3rd hit of the game, has had a great day. Martinez, of course, coming into the game for the Rockford Rivets, and had his struggles. A relative newcomer to the team as he started his year out for the Kalamazoo Growlers, where he struggled there. But playing well here in Rivet Stadium tonight. 2-1. That one is swung on and missed, and it moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fiducia on the season batting .372, best batting average in the league. Some unreal numbers from this guy. 2-2. Fastball runs wide, full count. And I think you can expect Fiducia to find himself on a minor league team come next season. The guy has posted himself some stats. Throw back to first, Martinez back safely. Fiducia out of Louisiana State Units from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Just a sophomore. This past season would bat .394 there. Payoff. Swung on a pop-up. Foul territory. Third baseman Dan Leckie in the Rivets bullpen can't make the grab. Dan Leckie tracking all the way over into the bullpen, worried about the pitcher's mound there. Raises the glove, looks down 3 or 4 times, and can't come up with it. Could have been an out. Instead, it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on the board, runner at first. Payoff pitch. Swung gone, another pop-up. This time it'll be in foul territory again, but on the right side. Willie Bourbon, first baseman, runs over to it and grabs it for out number 2. So that will bring up the new batter, and it will actually be a pinch hitter, in fact, as well. It will be number 29, Matik Lishna, the Slovenian. So the Rockford Rivets, they're going to the international field. Of course, they got the Puerto Rican pitcher, now the Slovenian batter. The Slovenia batter. Excuse me, all these new syllables I'm trying to get out here. Matik Lishna out of Vienna Emperors. More into that after this. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Matik Lishnak is how it's pronounced. Was a part of the European Summer League. 0-1. Swung on a fly into left. Ben Challey underneath of it makes the grab for out number 3. More on the European Summer League after this. It's a pretty interesting story, so stay tuned for it. Bottom of the 7th inning comes to a close. The Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded. That does it. Stay tuned for the top of the 8th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts. Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the 8th inning about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. It'll be number 25, Josh Peterson. The sophomore out of Deschler, Ohio, plays for Ohio University. Sophomore pitcher will look to try to close things out here for his Rivets team that has played well. The Bullfrogs have out-hit the Rivets tonight, 7-5. However, the Bullfrogs with 5 errors tonight. That will make it 5 unearned runs that have come across for the Rivets, and if I could say 5 more emphatically one more time, I would, but I can't. They do have allowed just 5 hits in this game, but they have out-hit the Rockford Rivets 7-5. Dan Leckie leads things off here in the top of the 8th inning. First one to him. Fastball that runs high, 1-0. Dan Leckie on the season has been a bright spot. Leckie coming into the game for the Bullfrogs, supporting a batting average just under 280. The 1-0. That's a check swing that makes contact with the ball, and it fouls it back 1-1. Dan Leckie on the season in 21, batting .262. The 1-1. Fastball right over the plate. Leckie watches it into the mitt. 1-2. Josh Peterson on the season, an 8.04 ERA and a 1-1 record. Like he swings at the 1-2, fouls it back. So the Rockford Rivets using this opportunity to give some guys some extra playing time. Of course, Fernando Colon, a guy that kind of struggled at the plate for the Rockford Rivets, hasn't had that many opportunities. And now Josh Peterson, a guy that has struggled for the Rivets, comes in a guy that hasn't had that many opportunities. Deals in the next one, a swing and a miss, and it's strike 3. Lecky goes down swinging, and with one out on the board, Kyle Bino will now dig in. Kyle Bino, the designated hitter today, 2 for 3, has had a nice re-debut. Of course, Kyle Bino, injured coming into this series against the Rivets, had not played in 10 games, or rather 10 days, I should say. First one into Bino. That one goes by for a strike, 0-1. Of course, the Bullfrogs got the day off a few days back. One of just 2 scheduled days off if you don't count the All-Star break. 0-1 pitch to Bino. Breaking ball that runs inside to make that 0-2 now. Or rather, 1-1 now. The Bullfrogs will be back here tomorrow to face off against the Rockford Rivets for Game 8, the final appearance from these two teams. 1-1, swung on, blooper into right field. Running over is the second baseman and the right fielder, and Keane O'Brien makes the basket catch for the second out. Looked like it might fall in no man's land, but Bryn Martinez tracking back, whiffs with his glove, and Keane O'Brien scoops up with his and comes up with the ball as well for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. And Willie Bourbon will dig in, trying to not go hitless today and trying not to put the Bullfrogs down in order for the 4th time tonight. Tomorrow on Sunday, the Bullfrogs will face off against this Rockford Rivet team at 4:05. First one into Bourbon, swung on and fouled back. 1. A nice early Sunday showdown for the Bullfrogs before they go back home to face off against the Madison Mallards. Bullfrogs will have 2 doubleheaders in 4 days to end the season. 0-1. Fastball and runs wide, 1-1. As after tomorrow's game, and it's a nice time for it to happen. Of course, that being the 4:05 game because it's a long bus trip back. 1-1. Fastball and then runs wide, 2-1. About a 3-hour bus drive here to Rockford, Illinois. Not the longest of drives by any means, but one of the longer ones. 2-1. That's a fastball that hits the outside corner. 2-2. But then the Bullfrogs will travel back home for the 7th game of the series against the Madison Mallards. And then they'll get another day off. 2-2 from Josh Peterson. Swung on, a blooper behind home plate. Running over is the catcher, and on the run, makes the grab. A good play from Hunter Fiducia. Throws off the mask and a dead sprint over towards the coach seating on in front of the Bullfrogs dugout. And that does it for the top of the 8th inning. The Bullfrogs look defeated. They trail 7-1 tonight, and they go down in order in the top of the 8th inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Bottom of the 8th inning. Luke Van Lanen out on the mound for the Bullfrogs now. Right-handed pitcher out of Valparaiso. Luke Van Lanen on the season for the Bullfrogs has struggled on the mound, has just appeared in 4 games, pitching 4 innings and allowing 6 earned runs. We'll see how he can do tonight. Has walked 3 batters and struck out 4 and has an 0-1 record. 13.50 ERA. We'll see how he can do tonight. If he pitches well tonight, it could prove to show that he will appear in more games as the season goes on. I'm sure he expected to get quite more innings than just 4 out there on the mound for the Bullfrogs, as he's been around the entire season. And to kind of put that into perspective, some of the temporary contract guys got more innings out there on the mound than Luke Van Lanen. Van Lanen really struggled in his first appearance, but since then has been a bit better. And with the Bullfrogs down 7-1, if he gets a nice 1-2-3 inning here, don't be surprised to see his name more often. First one to him, swung on. It's a grounder to second. Ben Hart has it. The throw to first in time and notably on target for out number 1. Van Lanen forces a ground out to the first batter, Zach Reams, and it brings up Kean O'Brien. Kean O'Brien, the right fielder tonight, is 0 for 1, but has been walked twice and hit by a pitch. In Luke Van Lanen's first appearance, he would come in and not retire a batter, but 4 runs would come across against him. First one he deals into Kean O'Brien, runs inside for a strike, 0-1. 4 runs against him, 3 earned, 2 hits, and a walk. And that he would get the loss as well. 0-1 swung on, a blooper into left field, and it's a base hit. Over the head of the third baseman, Dan Leckie, and it's the 6th hit of the game for the Rockford Rivets. What's impressive is that the Bullfrogs have managed more hits tonight than the Rockford Rivets. They have 7, and the Rivets, that being their 6th hit of the game. Yet the Bullfrogs trail 7-1. It's 5 errors that are the difference. 5 unearned runs have come across. Forte now digs in for the Rivets. First one to him. Fastball runs wide, 1-0. Luke Van Lanen, something that is notable, the Valparaiso product has a fastball that can reach in the 90s, one of the faster pitchers on the team. In his last appearance, pitched an inning and 2/3 in a loss against Kenosha, where he allowed 2 runs in an inning and 2/3. Van Lanen, right-handed pitcher out there on the mound, deals in another one, that one wide for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes, and out on the board, right first, and Kean O'Brien. The 2-0. Fastball, and that one runs in the dirt, and Luke Van Lanen goes behind 3 balls and no strikes. Van Lanen checks the runner at first. Now comes set. The righty takes a deep breath, and the 3-0. Fastball right over the zone. There it is, 3-1. Van Lanen out of Pulaski, Wisconsin. 21-year-old out there on the mound, comes set. And the 3-1 pitch. That one just misses the zone inside. Van Lanen thought he had a strike there. Instead, it's ball 4. And there's runners at first and second. That brings up Patrick Leffler, the first baseman. So the Major League Dream Showcase, that's on Tuesday. So the Bullfrogs will get another day off. Well, everyone besides Riley Smith and Connor Wallershot, as they will both be participating in the Major League Dream Showcase. It's essentially an all-star game, but it's voted on by scouts instead of media. First one into Patrick Leffler, runs low, 1-0. And also, it's a time where just about every scout in the upper portion of the United States will be in attendance. It should be 25+ scouts at the Major League Dream Showcase, and it's an opportunity for these players to show off what they got. 1-0. Swung on, found away left side, 1-1. Not only will Wallersheim be participating and Riley Smith, but also Chris Sabo will be in attendance. He's managing one of the teams in it, which has got to be a pretty cool experience for some of the other guys around the league to meet and hear what Chris Sabo has to say. The 1-1 from Van Lanen into Patrick Leffler. Swung on, line drive into right field, a base hit. They're going to hold up the runner at third as up 5-5. That could have easily been another run there. So bases loaded now, and Zach Bailey digs in. 1 out on the board, and the bases loaded. Luke Van Lanen trying to get something going here. Bannon, left-handed, or rather, my apologies, right-handed pitcher. Deals in the first one to Bailey. It's swung on and fouled back 0-1. Van Lanen, this past season at Valpo, would post a 9.64 ERA. 13 games would deal in 6 Ks. Back during his sophomore year, had a good year. 22 games, 4.81 ERA, and a win. Van Lanen nods his head, comes set. Right-handed pitcher takes a deep breath and the 0-1. Fastball swung on, a broken bat, grounder left side. In single run scores, Rivets take an 8-1 lead. A chopping ground ball left side gets away from the third baseman, Dan Leckie. Riley Smith finally gets over to it in the infield dirt, and by the time he corrals the ball, a runner came across, and the runner was safe at first. And so the first single of the day for Zach Bailey. He swings at the first one. It's a grounder to the second baseman. Out at second, throw to first, not in time. They get the 4 out second. A nice play from Ben Hart to toss to Riley Smith. The throw to first is not in time, and so it's another run that comes across for the Rockford Rivets. They now lead at 9-1. Two outs on the board now. We're back up to the top of the lineup, and Brandon Martinez digs in. Brandon Martinez digs in first, 1-2 him. Fastball moves, runs wide rather, 1-0. One 0 count, 2 outs on the board. Runners on the corners. Van Lanen comes set, and the 1-0. Swung on, pop foul, out of play. Bullfrogs back here tomorrow, as mentioned, at 4:05. You can catch the pregame show at 3:55. Of course, normally we don't get that many listeners at the pregame show. I recommend you tune into it if you haven't this season. It's not a bad time. Voted on by myself. 1-1 from Van Lanen. Calls time, rather. Van Lanen drops the ball and walks over, picks it back up. Pre-game interview normally consists of a pre-game interview. However, today we did not have one, as the Bullfrogs a bit late getting into Rockford. Bus today was a bit late leaving the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine parking lot. 1-1. Swung on, line drive left field, another base hit. 1 run scores for Brandon Martinez, and Brandon Martinez now has managed 4 singles on the night, and add on 2 RBIs to that number as well. Bullfrogs still looking for that third out just to get out of this frame, as the Rockford Rivets have now put 10 run across against the Bullfrogs, and they're staring down their 7th victory against this Bullfrogs team. The Frogs 0-6 coming into the game against the Bullfrogs, or rather against the Rivets. This will be the 7th loss of the season against this team, and they will try to avoid this sweep tomorrow. Bullfrogs did manage to beat the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors in one game, and that's the only team that's threatened also to sweep this team. 0-1. Swung on, popped up foul left side, 0-2. And so they'll try to avoid this sweep here tomorrow, as they have not been swept by a team all season. They've managed at least a win against everybody besides this Rivets team. An 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Van Lanning comes set, the 0-2. Breaking ball that runs wide, a ball and 2 strikes. Teams that are left on the schedule, the Madison Mallards are 3-3 against the Bullfrogs this season. The Fond du Lac Dock Spiders currently sit at the advantage with 3 games to 2. 1-2. Swung on, grounded away right side. And the Kalamazoo Growlers, they currently are the only team that the Bullfrogs have a winning record against. They sit at 3-2 against that team. If you do the math there, there's still 3 games missing against 2 of those teams. Well, that's because there's double headers against the Dock Spiders and the Growlers. A 1-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Runners at first and second. Parrot Fiducia is waiting. Luke Van Lanning comes set, the 1-2. Swung on, line drive, middle of the field, another base hit. They're going to hold up the runner at third. And it's another single here in this inning for the Rockford Rivets. And they have figured Luke Van Lanning out. And now everyone has come up to the plate here in the 8th inning as Neil Tyrell is in. 5 hits alone in this inning for the Rockford Rivets, and 3 runs scored. First one into Neil Tyrell goes by for a ball, 1-0. Check swing, and did it go around? Yes, 1-1. Neil Tyrell, or rather my apologies, of course, this was the pinch hitter, so it's actually Matik Lejnak of the CBLE, College Baseball League Europe. There were 5 players selected from the College Baseball League Europe to come play here in the Northwoods League. They've done that for a couple of seasons now. And in the College Baseball League of Europe, Matik Lashnik would bat .419 with 6 RBIs in 15 games. Not a long season there. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And so Luke Van Lanning leaves the bases loaded. 3 runs come across against him, however. 5 hits on the board. And the Rockford Rivets take a 5-1 lead. Stay tuned in the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM. Frogs trail 10-1.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today. 715-735-0583.
Hello and welcome back to the Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. Top of the 9th inning, the Bullfrogs trail by 9 runs, 10-1. Rockford Rivets just exploding against the Bullfrogs in the bottom of the 9th inning with runs. The Bullfrogs had put 2 scoreless on the board in the 6th and 7th innings, but a 3-run bottom of the 8th puts 3 more up on the board for the Rivets. And there's a new pitcher out on the mound for the Rockford Rivets as well. It will be number 19. Or my apologies, no. It will be Logan Michaels, who I can't seem to find on my roster here. Must be a new batter. A new pitcher, rather, I should say. But due up for the Bullfrogs is Ben Hart, right-handed batter out of Oakland, digs in. And the first pitch into him is swung on and fouled away. Ben Hart out of Oakland University, batting .287 on the season. There's the number 16, not number 19. David Brown at a cut stamp. Junior pitcher kicks the leg, the 0-1. Fastball and then runs low in the dirt, right side, 1-1. Ben Hart on the night for the Bullfrogs, coming into the at-bat, has managed a base hit tonight. 1-1. That one swung on and found away right side. And he is 1 for 3 tonight. However, Ben Hart has struggled in the field. 3 errors against the second baseman tonight. The 1-2. Fastball right across the plate, strike 3, and he goes down swinging, strike 3. That brings up Ben Challey, the left fielder. Ben Challey 0 for 3 tonight, and just his 4th game back for the Bullfrogs. First one in from Brown. Swung on, ground ball to short. The throw to first. In nice stretch by the first baseman over there, Patrick Leffler, to record out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. And Zach Plunkett, the catcher, will close out the 9th inning for the Bullfrogs. Top of the 9th inning here, the Bullfrogs trail 10-1. It's been a series of errors. Tonight, 5 errors against the Bullfrogs and 5 unearned runs that come across against the Bullfrogs. Not their best showing. Of course, the Bullfrogs came into the game on winning 6 out of the last 7. But a disappointing showing tonight. Rockford Rivets have extinguished the fire that was the Bullfrogs. And Zach Plunkett watches 2 pitch go by for balls, 2-0. Brown sends in the 2-0. That swung on, ground ball left side, foul, 2-1. Top of the 9th inning, Bullfrogs trail 10-1. 5 unearned runs tonight put the Bullfrogs out of it. 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning against right-handed pitcher Luke Van Lanen. 10 hits tonight for the Rivets, 7 for the Bullfrogs. Plunkett looking for his 2nd hit of the game. He's 1 for 3. 2-1, swung on, line drive left side, base hit. 8th hit of the game for the Bullfrogs, and Zach Plunkett, sure enough, grabs his 2nd hit of the game, 2 for 4. So with the base runner on, Mikey Falia, the leadoff hitter, digs in. The 1-hole hitter on the day, 1 for 4. Managed a single to lead off the game, but has since gone hitless. Struck out looking in the 7th. Right-handed batter out of UC Irvine digs in. And Brown out on the mound, looks to try to close it out and give the Rivets another win. First one to Falia is swung on and fouled away right side, 0-1. Falia out of UC Irvine on the season, batting .301 for the Bullfrogs, the best batting average on the team. 15 RBIs coming into the game. It's been a bright spot. Rocking some blue cleats tonight. Might be new. I have not seen Falia wear those. 0-1. Fastball that runs wide, 1-1. I mean, those things are shiny too. Either they'd been really dirty and he cleaned them, or they're new. Zach Brown out on the mound, comes set, kicks the leg, the 1-1. Swinging and a miss, 1-2. Flea out of UC Irvine didn't get that much playing time this past year for the Anteaters. Would appear in just a couple of games, registering 11 at-bats. Spoke with him yesterday in a pregame interview. Said one of his goals for the summer were to just be a better player. 1-2, swung on and fouled back. This summer, have some good at-bats, get some experience, and bring it back to UC Irvine. And the way he's played this summer, I mean, you expect him to go in tomorrow, or not tomorrow, my apologies, go back to school this year and be a starter almost. 301 batting average in the Northwoods League, leading your team. Why would you not? The 1-2. Swung on, ground ball left side, another base hit for the Bullfrogs. Zach Plunkett takes a large lead around second, but he'll stay there. And it's the 9th hit of the game for the Frogs. Bats getting hot just a little bit late, it seems, though. Runners at first and second now with 2 outs on the board. And 2 runners on. That brings up Riley Smith. Riley Smith tonight for the Bullfrogs has yet to record a base hit. Is 0-4 since being named to the Major League Dreams Showcase. See if he can get back to his hitting here in the 9th. First one to him. Swung on, a line drive deep into right field. Center fielder, though, tracking over, gets underneath of it, and grabs it for out number 3. The 3rd time tonight that Riley Smith would send a frozen rope out into the outfield, and the 3rd time that an outfielder would find themselves underneath of it. So that does it for tonight. The Dogs drop to the Rockford Rivets 10-1. A 3-hour game that the Rivets were in control of just about the entire game. Bullfrogs took a 1-0 lead in the game, but a run in the bottom of the first, or rather run in the bottom of the second, 3 runs in the bottom of the third, 2 in the bottom of the fourth, a run in the bottom of the fifth, and then a 3-run bottom of the 7th would be the difference. The Bullfrogs will look to try to bounce back against this Rivets team tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream, or rather, my apologies. Stay tuned for the post-game show where we go over the scores around the league, look at the box score, and give you your Roar Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin, every Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brewpub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Ready to take a voyage through the sounds and styles of some of the world's greatest musical performers? Hi, this is Mike Martin, host of Martini Mix, and every week I'll bring you timeless greats of music, time-tested artists like Count Basie, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, and many more. I'll bring you the perfect blend of music, nice and cool, served straight up on Martini Mix with Mike Martin.
Listen to Martini Mix Sundays from 1 to 3 p.m. on WOCO Stereo FM 107.1.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
and welcome back to Rivet Stadium here in Rockford, Illinois. The Bullfrogs drop a game to the Rockford Rivets, losing 10-1, and they have now lost 2 of their past 3. Bullfrogs are 0-7 against the Rivets now. They're looking to try to make it 7 in a row now. We'll see, or rather, my apologies. The Bullfrogs have dropped 7 in a row now to the Rockford Rivets. Look tomorrow to try to not be swept on the season against the Rivets. We'll be back here at 3:55 for the pregame show. Let's take a look at the scores around the league and then give you an in-depth look at the box score and give you your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine player of the game. The Waterloo Bucks lose to the St. Cloud Rocks 5-0. The La Crosse Loggers lose to the Mankato Moondogs 3-1. The Kenosha Kingfish lose to the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters 2-1. The Rochester Honkers game with the Bismarck Larks is postponed. The Lakeshore Chinooks, they are trailing the Madison Mallards 4-8 in the bottom of the 8th. The Green Bay Bullfrogs lose to the Rockford Rivets 10-1. The Thunder Bay Border Cats are trailing the Eau Claire Express 9-2 in the top of the 9th inning. The Duluth Hunt in the top of the 7th inning with the Wilmer Stingers currently have the lead 6-4. The Wisconsin Woodchucks lose to the Kalamazoo Growlers 4-1, and the Battle Creek Bombers, they beat the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 3-1. Let's take a look at the box score presented by the Knight family. With your starting pitchers on the Knights, Connor Wallersheim gets the loss. In 3 innings pitched, allowed 2 earned runs, 4 runs overall, 2 hits, 3 walks, and struck out 3. Jake S. comes into the game allowing no earned runs, but 2 runs would come across against him, allowing 2 hits, no walks, and struck out 9. Alex Sonola came in, pitched 2 innings, allowing no hits. 1 run would come across against him. It was not earned. 3 walks and 1 strikeout. Ethan Ivanko pitched 1 inning of work. He allowed just 1 hit, would not walk anyone or strike out anyone, and nobody scored against him. Luke Van Lanen comes in to pitch the 8th inning, and 3 earned runs come against him off of 5 hits, 1 walk, and he struck out 1. Mikey Falia went 2 for 5 tonight. Riley Smith 0 for 4. Troy Johnston 1 for 4 with a run score. Dan Leckie 1 for 4. Kyle Benio 2 for 4 with an RBI. Willie Bourbon 0 for 3 with a walk. Ben Harn 1 for 4. Ben Challey 0 for 4. And Zach Plunkett went 2 for 4. Notable numbers for the Rockford Rivets. Brandon Martinez went 4 for 6 tonight with 1 RBI. The lone Rivet to manage a multi-hit game. Brad Littleton gets the win for the Rivets. He pitched 6 strong, allowing 7 hits, just 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine player of the game will be Kyle Benio, 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI. Gets the lone RBI of the game for the Bullfrogs, and of course had not played in 10 days with an injury, so he comes back and gets things started off on the right foot with a RBI and a multi-hit day. That will do it here in Green Bay. The Bullfrogs will look to bounce back tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. We'll be live at 3:55 right here on 107.1 FM and 1260 AM. Bullfrogs lose to the Rockford Rivets 10-1. They drop to 9-19 on the season. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for Emily back in the studio helping me out tonight. And thanks for Larry, who I think helped out earlier in the day. And thanks all of you who have listened throughout the season, that listened across the country tonight, and that will listen tomorrow. As always, it's a pleasure calling Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball on the WOCO Sports Stream 107.1 FM. Peace.
Who do I perform for? I perform for all the awesome composers whose music deserves to be heard.
I perform for all the stagehands who make sure I never miss a cue.
I perform for our high school choir director who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
I perform for Mrs. Evans, my high school debate coach, who has helped me become more confident than I ever dreamed possible.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the high school in your community.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
That has been Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM. Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Scatcherd, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Witt's Piggly Wiggly. Also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing. Stay tuned for more Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on 107.1 WOCO Stereo FM. Have a great day.